What's up, guys? It has been a minute, but I'm back in business. It has been a while since I've actually been able to take a trip, but I am here in Phnom Penh in Cambodia. So I'll be traveling Cambodia for the next 4 weeks. But I'm going to be taking you along for the ride. So in this episode, I'm going to be taking you around Phnom Penh for the next couple of days. So today I am heading off to get some lunch and off to the Royal Palace this afternoon. And then over the next couple of days I am planning to head out to the Killing Fields to look at what happened with the genocide here in Cambodia about 40 years ago under Pol Pot's regime. So more to come on that. But let's get going for the day. So after doing a bit of research, I came across this amazing place called Backyard Cafe. They've got a couple of locations in Phnom Penh with lots of gluten dairy-free options, which definitely suited me. And there's also lots of plant-based and vegan foods there for those people that want those options. With a super cool, like outdoorsy, chic, almost Byron vibe. I actually went 3 times in 3 days. I loved it so much. Got some amazing pancakes and a mango smoothie, and then was ready to conquer the rest of my day. So the next stop on the list was to walk over to the Central Market and have a little wander, see what I could find, and check out what was on offer. I'm here in the Royal Palace complex and I've been going around with my guide Sukhum, who is an absolute sweetie and has been explaining all of the history and Cambodian culture to me. I highly recommend to get yourself a private tour guide when you come in here so that you know exactly what you're looking at. She has been explaining to me all about the king and the royal family, about the history of Cambodia, the culture, and the artifacts, what I'm looking at when we're going into different exhibits and what each of the buildings are in this complex. So it is quite steep for like a backpacker shoestring budget, but if you can swing it, highly recommend. So it is $20 in total, so 10 for your entry ticket and then 10 for the private guide. I know by local standards it's quite steep, but well worth it. Highly recommend. And she has been really great answering all of my questions, even talking about the Khmer Rouge and looking at that from both a perspective of someone as a Cambodian person and then getting her thoughts on the current political system they have today and how much has changed. So yeah, really wonderful experience and highly recommend to do when you're here in Phnom Penh. But once your guide finishes your tour, it's usually about 40 minutes to an hour, I would suggest going back through the complex yourself just to get some photos and have a little wander. after my time at the palace, I went back to the hostel for the afternoon. On the way, found some great little pop-up markets on the street, grabbed some fresh fruit, and decided to head back for a quick swim and a siesta and a chilled dinner, preparing for a big and busy day ahead tomorrow. On my second day in Phnom Penh, I decided to jump on a tour with the hostel in a tuk-tuk out to the S21 prison and the Killing Fields. Now, you can do this self-guided on your own in a tuk-tuk. It's pretty easy to do. Or if you are staying at an accommodation where they organise tours, you can do it that way. So you can go with a group of people and have things organised for you. So the first stop of the day was the S21 prison, and that was set up in an old secondary school within the city limits of Phnom Penh, and that basically during the Khmer Rouge, their regime, that was imprisoning intellectuals and educated individuals that were, intellectuals that could be seen as a threat to the revolution. And essentially, Pol Pot and, the Khmer Rouge were wanting to send society backwards through a revamp, back to, I guess, feudal techniques of hard labor with agriculture. So if you were, an intellectual, if you were a teacher, if you worked at university, someone who was well educated, you were either sent back out to the countryside away from your home in the city, or placed in these prisons and eventually sent out to various killing fields, which was our second stop of the day. Basically, a whole field outside of the city that was used to execute people and to bury their bodies. It is honestly one of the most messed up things I have ever heard of and ever just, laid eyes on in terms of like historical sites. It is just completely abominable that that this took place, especially after the atrocities of the Holocaust that we saw in the Second World War. So this was all going on in the 1970s during the same time as the Vietnam War. So absolutely not a pleasant experience, but one that I recommend when you do visit Cambodia and you do visit Phnom Penh, is that you get to experience both of these sites and you do take the tour with the audio guide, just to learn about what happened, because people alive today still had family members that were affected by this. So it is still living on in the people there in Cambodia. And some of them do find it obviously very hard to talk about, understandably. I didn't take many photographs throughout the day. The photographs you see here are from the prison, which was the first stop. The Killing Fields, I did not take one photograph or any video footage at all, as I just did not feel that was sensitive, and I just did not feel it was appropriate. And I only just took a photograph of the entrance at the outside. So if you are in Phnom Penh, definitely do this as a day trip. You can do it as a half day. It doesn't take very long, but it's one experience that is important to have. So after we got back from that, I spent a bit of time just sort of processing, and then went out for a bit of a dinner with some of my friends from the hostel. my last day in Phnom Penh, I went to Wat Nam and the National Museum. So Wat Nam is a temple just on a hilltop on the northern end of the city. Pretty small. If you don't have time, I don't think it's, drastic on your itinerary. You could, give it a miss if you were doing a big tour of Southeast Asia. As far as temples go, wouldn't say it's definitely necessary to make it up there. The National Museum, I think, is highly overrated, not worth 10 USD entry. I spent, I think, a grand total of 5 minutes there. So you could definitely leave that off your itinerary as well. Went back to the same dinner place from the night before and took a walk by the river, and then decided to head back, get packed and ready for Siem Reap. Well guys, that is a wrap on Phnom Penh. Thanks for coming along, and I will see you guys in the next episode in Siem Reap. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button because it really supports my channel, and I'll see you soon.